What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I had to check and see if the camera was on because I've taped a few of these and the sound has been gone. It's your commissioner, Big Leak, aka, actually, happy to say, not as big. I'm working out, really hitting it hard, trying to get this retirement weight up off of me. And I've lost about 6 or 7 pounds these last couple of weeks. Didn't really realize it till I weighed myself after one of my league games, and my little Jaja was just like that. So I'm actually feeling pretty good about that because that retirement weight coupled with the sympathy weight, I'm blaming it on Tiffany. You're goddamn right. It's pissing me off. But anyway, I digress. Big league, smaller big league, coming at you. Fantasy football. I don't even know what week this is, man. Don't know what week this is. Don't care what week this is. We made it past the bye. Actually, I know it's a late week because I'm sorry about last week. Didn't get a chance to do the video. But the Thursday game bit me in the ass last week, man. I had all my charges from the week before that gave me like, my charges alone gave me 110, 120 points. And man, I started them last week and it was ridiculous, man. I got like 50 points from them combined. So the Thursday games are here. Guys really got to adjust your rosters, adjust your lineups earlier now. Waiver wire on Wednesday, set your lineup if you have a guy playing on Thursday, right off the top. All right, so we're gonna jump right into this. What we got going on here? Let me see. Let me see. We are actually, I think it's week 11. Yes, it is because John. I'm looking at his team right now. 8-2, team moneymaker, doing big things. Great receiving core, and he has the right. He picked the right year to have Aaron Rodgers. Man, that guy's just on fire right now. On Fire and Fuego, or as my baby brother Ricky used to say when he was a baby, and Flago. Anyway, John, I'm not even going to recap last week because I missed it. I'm trying to just get back on point, on par. John is he's traveling to the Big Apple to take on my man, the freaking Ricans. Preview of this game ESPN preview, has this game being kind of even if you look at it. John starting Aaron Rodgers, Beanie Wells, Dexter McCluster as of right now. That may still be one of those bye week um, setups or whatever. I don't know if he adjusted his roster. Yeah, he didn't because he's still starting Nate Washington and those guys. So we really won't go there. But John sits at 8-2. Sam is clinging to the slimmest of playoff hopes, but he's definitely my man. That's like my right hand right now because I love the way he's just hanging in the league no matter what. He's fighting down to the end. He's not going to go down without a fight. And that right now, I may just bump him up 2 points. Next year, I'm probably going to do that. If you manage your team and you got a crappy record like Sam's, you're going to get an extra 2 points to start the game, especially when you're going up against the first place team, the first place juggernaut. But anyway, we'll see who comes out a winner in that one. Sam at 8-2. These records are palindromic. Team Moneymakers 8-2, and Sam is 2-8. If you guys don't know what palindromic means, look it up. Laugh now, look it up, and then figure it out later. Back to the scoreboard. Trying to figure out what I'm really going to talk about. Flowing off the cuff, the Tri-State Birds. My man Corey, who started out like gangbusters, but has since lost, I want to say like 3 out of his last 4, man. He's taking on Team D-Block, who started out hot 2-0 or whatever, I believe it was. Then they fell on hard times, losing a lot of guys to injury. And now they seem to have kind of put things together. Might be in time enough to get into the playoffs for the defending champs. That's all they really want to do with the way their roster has been riddled with injuries. So if they can make it to the playoffs, they may make some noise. Not against yours, truly. But, they could make some noise. Tri-State Birds, let's see if the preview and D-Block, see what the preview has to say about these two guys. Right now, it's projecting the Tri-State Birds in a landslide. But again, D-Block hasn't set his roster. They still have 3 guys on the bye weeks, and I know for sure they're not going to leave that. So Corey's looking good, though. Michael Bush is stepping in for the injured Darren McFadden and doing big things. At 18.7 points last week, and that was the low story. The big story out of Oakland last week was Carson Palmer hooking up with Denarius Moore for 2 big touchdowns. Denarius Moore was one of the huge pickups on a waiver wire this week. I think him and Sam are like perpetual waiver wire vultures. Those guys are just like circling the waiver wire. If you drop somebody or try to buy some time or whatever, they're going to swoop down and just grip them up or whatever. Seems like they spend their whole life on the waiver wire or whatever. Gronkowski did another big week. He's the second-rated tight end in the league. Joshua Cribbs continues to quietly put together solid weeks for Corey, taking advantage of the punt return, kick return yardage thing or whatever. So we'll see who comes out victorious there. Both teams sit at 5-5, and whoever wins that game is going to have a stronghold, or let's just say be in a driver's seat for making it to the playoffs. I want to go back to actually this game right now. This one's personal for me because all you guys might have noticed I changed my name a couple times this week. This one, the Fire Andy Reid was kind of like my choice. You know, I'm hoping the Eagles lose every game the rest of the year because I want Andy Reid fired, I want Marty Mornhinweg fired, and I want Juan Castillo needs to be shot or just flogged or whatever, like Denzel in Glory or whatever. Just take it and whatever, because whoever told him he could be a defensive coordinator must be the same person that told Rod Stewart he could sing. But anyway, I digress. Tim, we made our little friendly bet, so I owe him $100 because his Bears went up into the link, turned it into the stink, and beat us down pretty good. I was really upset with that. But one of the caveats of the bet was I had to change my name for a week to the Bears Rock, all capitals, and in silent rebellion, I put it in all lowercase letters. I dare Tim to say something. I slaps MVPs for a living. I dare him to say something. You tell him, come find me. 1318, Greystone Ridge, the bell works. Come see me. Me, Marley, and Miles are just, boy, you don't know what'll be hitting them, man. Anyway. I'm waiting, man. I'm still waiting for Phillip Rivers to get it together, man. I don't really talk about myself a lot in these videos, but this is getting frustrating, man. I'm projected to win. You know, it's going to be a close game, 112 to 108 or whatever, but every week I'm waiting for Phillip Rivers and Vincent Jackson to get it together, man. Antonio Gates, I got all his weapons, and the 1 year I picked Phillip Rivers, he doesn't throw for the 5,000 yards. You know, he throws for 4,500, 4,800 every year. But I draft him with my first, second pick. He throws for like 3,200. And I'm blindly changing the songs on iTunes. I don't know what the hell we're listening to. But anyway, Michael Turner, Ray Rice, this is a star-studded lineup, man. I'm going week to week with the defense until my Steelers get it together. And Janikowski's the best kicker in the game. The 1 week I didn't start him, he had 22 points. I started him last week, he has 6 or 7. Go figure. Off constantly, after the raping of bronze. That's going to be like a little side book to this season, the raping of bronze. The platinum raping of bronze. Anyway, we'll call bronze with a golden booty hole because Tim just raped him for Arian Foster. I still can't forget it. And I'm really mad at you too, Browns. On top of that, you sent your henchman Alana down here to spend the weekend with us, man. I'm going to Cuba, Costa Rica or something till Monday. But anyway, Matt Stafford, Matt Forte, Roddy White, solid lineup. Devin Hester, you never know when he's going to break out. But I think I know he's getting hurt because Aaron Foster's on a bye week. So this could be my week to exact revenge. I might want to hedge my bet where I had to change my name. Maybe, bet Timmy that if he loses, he has to trade Aaron Foster to Sam. I got your back, Sam. We'll see what happens. Tim's 7-3, definitely in the playoff hunt. 5-5, I was in first place in my division. Corey's since passed me, but that's the little brother. Any big brothers out there know the little brother never beats the big brother, so I have nothing to worry about there. My man Dre, who's been a little bit more active since I put him on blast a couple of weeks ago, but even so, he's quietly amassed a 7-3 record with a solid lineup. Steven Jackson has found the fountain of youth or just a rebirth or whatever because he's doing this thing for the St. Louis Rams, and Dre is the proud recipient of all those points. Steven Jackson is right outside of the top 10 in running backs in the league, averaging 12.4 a game, had 16.7 last week. Cam Newton had a slow week at 19.2. Man, I'd probably give my left nut for Phillip Rivers to get 19 points. But Steve Smith, again, doing great things. That ought to be a good game, Carolina and Detroit. Aaron Hernandez, another one of Tom Brady's weapons, is just lighting up the scoreboard in fantasy. And my man, Cowboys Country America's team, Sam, who's talking trash. Now, Sam, this is my man. He's a good dude. He's good people. He knows his sports or whatever. A little pushy with the trades and stuff, but Sam is good people. But this is the Prime example of front runners. Front runner, front runner, front runner, front runner. You read his messages on the message board. One week he puts a friggin' soliloquy about how the Cowboys are this and the Dream Team's a nightmare and this, that, with the embarrassment of the NFC, yada, 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 yada. Put up a whole just soapbox speech. We proceed to beat the brakes off the Cowboys that week. And then he's as quiet as a church mouse. My man Quad told him to erase the message. He ain't had nothing to say. He ain't had nothing to say until another week went by when the Cowboys got a win and the Eagles lost another game or whatever. Fire Andy Reid. Fire Marty Mornhenweg, and shoot Juan Castillo. But anyway, the Eagles lost another game. Now he wants to sound off and chirp. That's like in basketball, when the game is close, you're quiet, you're nervous, your ass is tight. Then when you get a little 10-point lead, you want to Chris Webber and talk trash or whatever. That's why I call him Chris Webber. Quack, sometimes Chris Webber. But these guys are all front runners. Talk to me when you down 20. Like when I was in this league before, when I lost Tom Brady and my record was bad, I said I'm still going to win. And I talked trash all season, and I came out on top. Don't wait till you like 8-2 like John to start sounding off. I'm not saying John did it, but don't wait till you're in like first place to start chirping off and rapping or whatever. Front running Sam. America's team I'm behind. Still waiting. He's probably been waiting longer for Chris Johnson to turn around than I have for Phillip Rivers. DeMarco Murray is a great pickup by him. DeMarco Murray is a stud. I like him, even though in spite of him playing for the Cowboys, he's a monster. I love anybody that plays hard and big physical receivers and running backs. Dwayne Bowe, doing his thing, 14 last week. So he's put together a pretty good team. Jason Witten, Ryan Fitzpatrick is hanging in there. But I don't think this guy, especially with his front-running capabilities, is going to make it to the end. So he's not even worth talking about anymore. We're going to go over to someone else who's not worth talking about much. My man Dane. Now get this. Quad, you can understand this. Quad and actually he's playing Quad this week. So, Quad has a good roster. Victor Cruz, Fred Jackson, Frank Gore, Hasselbeck, but Jordy Nelson. He has a good team. And he has some really good pieces on the bench. That's a credit to Quad. Quad drafted a good team and manipulated and traded and hit the waiver wire and got some good pieces. This fool Dane proceeds to almost shame us or try to shame us for having good pieces. He was trying to work a trade and wanted us to give him a starter at running back or a running back preferably or a wide receiver for nothing. And he said, "You guys aren't even," this is him, quote, "y'all not even using them. Y'all hoarding all the talent. Y'all not even using them. This is bull, man. This is bull." Proceeded to call my league, bull. Man, I almost threw him up out of the league, man. I don't play that. This is a democratic dictatorship. And y'all know y'all heard me, whatever. Y'all understand what I was saying? Democratic dictatorship. That's what it is. Like y'all have a vote, but I ultimately have veto power. But anyway. Saying we hoarding the talent. And this fool been starting guys like Peyton Hillis and guys that's injured or on bye weeks or whatever, man. Fucking with the law, homie. You gonna get beat down. Slap like Tim. If I slap MVPs, you know I slap regular niggas. Anyway, Michael Vick, don't know if he's gonna start this week. He's projected to have 0, so they're probably saying he's gonna sit. Sean Green, I traded him with Sean Green for Brandon Lloyd. It was pretty fair. I helped my man out, but I'm just not going to give him something because he thinks I'm hoarding talent. Please, that was his fault for drafting a bum roster. Loaded with New York Giants. I was about to say Knicks. Oh, man. That's another subject. Finally, we got the Garden State greatness. Lateness, greatness, whatever. He's doing the thug thizzle at 6-4. First place in his division, looking good for the playoffs. Adrian Peterson's, is great. Tony Romo, even though he stinks, is a good fantasy quarterback because Dallas throws the ball a lot and they have a soft schedule the rest of the way. Lawrence Robinson was a great pickup for him because he's probably going to fill in definitely going to fill in until Austin comes back, and he's probably going to have a big role the rest of the year. He's a good slot receiver. The Bears defense, man, those guys just continue. I'm starting to see why Will drafted them in the second round a couple of years ago, man, because they just score on defense, with the rules we have. It's frustrating playing against those guys, man, because they score. And Devin Hester takes a couple to the house. You can get 50 points in a heartbeat from the Bears. But anyway, my man Bronze has Carson Palmer. He's definitely rejuvenating his career up in Oakland. LeGarrette Blount. There's been a LeGarrette Blount sighting down in Tampa Bay. This guy runs hard, but it's obvious last week he was a little bit out of shape, a little winded, didn't have the rhythm that he needed to be effective. We'll see how he bounces back this week. Maurice Morris probably won't get it done. Brandon Marshall, solid. Denarius Moore. That's a great pickup for my man Browns. He has Carson Palmer and Denarius Moore. Even though he handed probably the best running back this year away for nothing, for peanuts, for a convict, he does have a, he did maintain his roster or whatever. This guy partnered one convict, Plaxico Burris, up with another convict, Cedric Benson. I'm gonna start calling him like the Jailblazers of the early 2000s. That's pretty much everybody, y'all. Nothing much really else to talk about. I don't even know if I said that right. Nothing much really else. But fantasy football, baby. I can say what I want. This is a lot of fun. Week 11. I think the bye weeks are behind us. The Thursday games are upon us. Set your rosters accordingly. Stay in touch with the league. Stay on top of things. I think the trade deadline is in 2 or 3 weeks. So if you're planning on making a move, make it quick. Make it good. And make it work for you. This is your big commissioner, a little less big, Commissioner Leak, a.k.a. Big Meech, signing off. Good luck in Week 11. Everybody except Tim. He's going down like, I don't know, going down.